I've never thought of myself as being self-sufficient, only doing things to get stuff done, until a friend pointed out to me what I was doing. So I'm posting a day in the life of how I keep things working. The last 2 months have been challenging because of the near constant 100-degree plus temperatures and its effect on the garden and even my ability to travel. And then I woke up one day and said to myself that I had to look beyond my limitations to what were some of the things that I could do despite the heat. First was a project I'd put off for quite a while. 2 years ago, I built this outdoor bar that had worked well, but now it had water damage that needed to be fixed, which meant taking it apart to get to the damaged area. Someone asked me once after I'd built it what I would do if a tree fell on it during one of the yearly hurricanes. And I confidently said, I'll just build it back. So now I had to test that theory. I was lucky the bar was under the shade of 2 trees, so I wasn't directly in the sun, even if it was hot. To get around this, I had to start early in the morning and work as quickly as possible without rushing. The repair would involve replacing the rotted 2x4s and then covering them with joist tape. Taking the top apart turned out to be not that difficult. And there was the water damage. But it was worse than I had anticipated. It ultimately required removing the entire top. I made a point of marking the slats so I would know where to replace the puzzle pieces. With that done, it was on to replacing the rotted 2x4s and screwing them into place. Applying the joist tape was fairly straightforward in that you measured the section to be covered, then pulled the back off and applied the self-adhesive tape to the section. This part went fairly quickly, and I was glad, as it had begun to really heat up. Replacing the puzzle pieces was the last step in the process, and I was more than glad I had marked where each section went. And the finished repaired product that looks very much like it was before, only now was a little more water resistant. The self-sufficient realization was that 3 years ago I would never have thought of building the outside bar, let alone taking it apart and reassembling it. Teaching myself woodworking has spared me the task of trying to find and pay a handyman who would have charged me heaven knows how much and may or may not have done the work. It feels good to know that I'm willing to try new things and figure it out as I go along, and I hope you will too, so that you can see the structure standing there to prove it. At this point, though, I think I'll stick to seeing it as getting things done with the idea of self-sufficiency somewhere in the back of my mind. See you next time.